least you're all stuck up on that. But the funny thing about that is they just, if that happens, toilet paper ain't the main thing. It's food that you really, really want, and yet they don't do
toilet
that.
paper would not be high up on the list for me.
Yeah.
It would be stuff like non-perishables, noodles, rice,
canned food. Yeah.
So anyway,
and bottled water probably.
Well, it turns out a lot of the cheap stuff I buy comes from Australia, so the shelves are completely empty, which means the expensive stuff's available, and it's bad enough that the prices have gone up pretty much for everything. I've just had my internet and my mobile phone bills go up, and so yeah, awful fun. But hey, I'm not surprised because I knew this would happen one day. It's hence why I'm a bit frugal with the money and stuff. Well, I have to be anyway. I don't get much of it. But always going to know eventually the life that we're used to will change. It has through history, always has through history. Countries that have been well off end up being poor eventually again. And it's pretty naive to think that the way our lifestyle is with everything we've got and the economy and all that is going to last forever. It might do, but it might not as well. So it's all those people that spend all their money on the little toys that you don't necessarily need, like a brand new phone, even though your phone's perfectly fine, just because you got some bragging rights that you think people will give a hoot that you've got the brand new iPhone, instead of saving that money for later when you're really going to need it. Well, you know, sucked in, you guys.
Yeah, I never got that either. I mean, if your old phone breaks down and you get yourself the newest toy because you haven't had a new phone in 4 or 5 years, sure. Even though I think even that is overspending, but that's to each their own, you know.
Yeah, but I suppose I brought up the economy. Our economy boomed in the 90s, so it got really good. But before then, it's your parents always, you buy something and you really looked after it. Cars, anything like that, you really looked after them because you wanted them to last, save money and all that kind of stuff, and you just got what you needed. Admittedly, there was less toys back then. You only had the one TV. You didn't have one in every bloody room and on every ceiling and every bloody floor. Toilets, 5 of them, so you got widescreens.
Well, yeah, but I mean, back then things were built to last. Today, they are not supposed to work longer than 2-3 years tops. I mean, cars obviously a little bit longer, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but still cheap cars here because we've got Japanese imports that are cheap, so people don't look after their cars anymore. It breaks, it goes. Same with phones, it breaks, you just get a new one. Because you're able to, but doesn't mean you should. If you look after it, it works perfectly fine. But then again, you've always got the little things, like with the phone companies allegedly bringing out updates that make your phone go slower, so you choose to buy the new one. I mean, funny enough, one of my favourite games at the moment, which is NBA 2K21, obviously the new one's out, and all of a sudden, since the new one's been out, I've never had a problem with that game, and all of a sudden I'm getting issues with it, even after redoing Windows and reloading it, and getting some real issues. Yeah, and you think to yourself, well, hey, I'll come back to the phone thing, you know, forcing you to go, oh, okay, well, I'll get the new one, it might work better.
No, it'd probably be about the same.
Yeah, I mean, the gaming industry tries to scam you with loot boxes and unfinished published AAA titles. Yeah, no, just no. I haven't bought a game on launch or before launch in ages. I only got FS22 before as a pre-order because it was a gift. And the last game I bought as a pre-order for PC was GTA 5.
Yeah, I think I would always pre-order a GTA. I think that's a given with me. I would always, But that's because
I
they've proven.
yeah, the last one I pre-ordered was Far Cry 6, I think. But
Yeah,
yet
but
again, I had to wait a year and a half for it. So
yeah, I only ever played Far Cry 3, so yeah.
Yeah, I like Far Cry's, but I haven't played it since 3. 3 was the last one I played, or maybe 4, I can't remember. One on the sort of island.
yeah, in the Far Cry series, I think 5 is probably like the best one, even though 6 has only just come out like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played that because my favourite's always been the first one.
Better than 6 at the moment, so
Yeah,
I
my favourite
think
was
I
always
do-
number 1. The
I
very
do
first
have
one.
the first one lying around somewhere here. I think my
Yeah, I got
uncle gave that to me.
Almost.
I mean, the pre-order thing is only AAA titles. Indie titles, I bought plenty in alpha and beta stages to support the developer.
Actually, the original
I
Far
have to
Cry was
say,
$5.
I never did a miss buy there. Well, apart from Factorio. That's just a game I don't like. But that's just me.
You haven't given it a good go. That's the only reason why. No one doesn't like that game. The only reason people don't like that game is because they don't understand it, because it's not the norm. It's not handheld, and you've actually got to use your brain and figure it out. And it's,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff like that.
But do you know what's not going to change my opinion of that game?
What?
You belittling me for not playing it and just not accepting. I don't like it. I played it for 5 hours and I decided I don't like it.
No, see, with that one, you need more than that. And even with 5 hours, I mean, I did the same thing. I'm not being lately. It's just a fact, because people prefer games to handheld them now, and they mostly do. They're not like the old school where you actually had to use your brain and figure things out. And they're just used to it. And a lot of people don't like games. You see it all the time. I wasn't actually saying you in general. I'm just saying for the most part, the majority of the people that are like that, they won't play it. And a lot of them actually come back to it after they understand how it works and love the game. And hence the reason why it's got such a high rate, 98% approval rating on Steam. But I was the same with you. I spent a few hours playing that game when I first started, and I didn't like it. But when I actually went off and had a look at how the game played and came back to it and understood it, I loved the game. But that's the thing, playing it and trying to figure it out, you won't sort of do that. If you're going to do that yourself, you need to spend more than 5 hours in that game. You need to spend like 5 days in that game before you truly understand how it works. But if you get people that show you it,
I mean, for many games I play, I don't even spend 5 days in that game. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, 5 days, that's what, 100 hours of gameplay?
I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying it as to put my point across, that's all. Obviously I'm exaggerating.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're saying at least something like 20-30 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, but that's a game. It's one of those games that you get sucked into. You won't even know or feel like it. That's how long it's been. Come on, get out of the ditch.
Yeah, I believe that might be the case for you. Isn't for me.
I was going to say, I think my example there would be for Satisfactory. Yeah, it's a great game, it's pretty interesting, but I take it in doses. So I'll go and tinker around with it for a little bit and then just put it down and put it to one side for a bit. So I'm not like hardcore addicted to it. I mean, some people would be, some people do wonderfully impressive things with it, but to me it's like, yeah, this is a sometimes food.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with for you, for example, with Stardew Valley. You don't like that game. I played over 500 hours in that game. You know?
Yeah.
That's a matter of taste.
That's more of a preference of what the game type is with Factorio. What I'm saying to you is just give it a chance by having someone to come in and show you how to do it and play it a little bit with knowing how it works a bit better. Then make a decision on it. You're just making a possible decision on the game because of what you understand of it, which is might not be the right way to look at the game, and give it a chance. That's all I'm saying, is give a game a chance. It's like when you say, I don't understand why people like trucking sim, but you actually don't know until you actually play it and give it a go, whether you will actually like it or not. And trucking sim and farming sim and all that are one of those things that I thought I wouldn't like to play. And I see it a lot of times on Twitch streamers and that, they go, oh, I wouldn't want to play that game, I wouldn't like it, and they end up streaming it and loving it. Because they just make the assumption, oh, that's not a game I would like, and when you actually play it, it's about what the game gives you, you know. And with Factorio, it's a little bit harder because there's a lot involved to understand how it works. But once you do, and then realise how much further you can take and your creativity and what you can do and watching it work and all that, it's got that thing about it, and that's why it's such a hugely popular and very liked game. And I'm only saying that because I think if you gave it a go, you might like it and get a bit of enjoyment out of it. That's the only reason I do it, saying it, just to give the game a go, not trying to like bully you or belittle you or anything like that. I'm doing it because I think you would actually enjoy it if you gave it a really good go and realise, got a bit of structure going and how things worked, and then worked it from there and figured things out and see what you can be done and what can't be done and all that kind of stuff. You would thoroughly enjoy it, and then you got yourself a really good enjoyable game, which would be neat that you can enjoy and get the enjoyment out of that everyone else gets. I mean, it's
what I got me was Long Drive. It's basically Desert Bus meets My Summer Car.
There's a new one coming out that's like My Summer Car. Mike showed me the other day. It's set in Canada. But, I mean, that's like...
Cars,
No, Mon something. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to games, it's everyone's preference. But generally, I sort of try and suggest games to people because I think they'll get a lot of enjoyment, and I'd actually like to know that they get a lot of enjoyment, hear how much enjoyment they're getting out of it. Because it gave me so much enjoyment in the game. You know, the only reason I say, yeah, it's an awesome game and all that, because I want people to feel the same feeling I got from that game as well. But I mean, everyone's own, like you said, I mean, everyone loves the Far Cry series, but I'm probably one of the rarest ones who will say, well, my most favourite Far Cry is Far Cry, the very first one, which is different to the other ones. It's not open world. And yeah, I love that with Far Cry more than any of the other Far Crys. It's in there. It's what we're talking about anyway.
Yeah, no idea.
I don't remember.
Cracked a long time ago.
Right. Let me take over. Oh, actually, before I do that, I should save the game. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that and click some money. So what else have we got? We've got fertilising. Oh, what's the harvesting one? Why not? Why not? Give it to me. Oh, what a weird day and weird mood I'm in. It's even real weird. It's just been weird. Even the stream's been weird. Our conversations have been weird. You guys are bloody weird.
Can't call
Thank you.
us weird,
Oi.
it's not weird.
the sound die, or is it just me?
What, in the game?
No. For a second, it sounded like you were halfway through a sentence. You're like, "Will I?" And then just dead silence. I'm like, "Finish the sentence."
Finishing sentences is for wussies.
Well,
Hot dog guys stop in the middle of.
Two types of people: those that can extrapolate from incomplete data.
Oh no, you too. Oh. No, we don't need to finish sentences. We know each other so well.
It's the Irish potato. How are you, bud?
Hey, who?
Owen.
Oh, and Barnard. He was on Check It ages ago, but I think he's gone. I think he's gone Betty Boys.
He said goodbye when he leaves.
Well, he does actually, yeah, you're right. It was like the other day, I didn't realise he was still there because I think old Twitch was giving me the wrong numbers of viewers, and well, mainly it wasn't accounting for my PC, which it normally does, but recently it hasn't, just like I haven't had any ads on my other one.
At the stream start advert and the pre-roll first advert. Haven't done anything since yet though.
Took today. Only on the phone though.
But yeah, anyway, it was like hours, didn't see him, and then he said goodbye, bye. And I went, oh, okay, didn't realise he's still here.
Always watching Wazowski.
always watching.
I've never watched Monster Inc.
Good film.
Good movie.
That Monsters U is pretty good as well.
No, I mean I watched I think parts of the first one.
First one's
I never
good.
watched it in full.
Yeah, that's a good movie, that's for sure.
I mean I never watched that crap movie Goonies either.
How dare you? Wash your mouth out with soap.
I never watched it. You about it.
All I got from that was, "Hey, you guys." That's it.
Yeah, I've seen that meme go down or go around, so.
Goonies is a good movie.
I wouldn't know. I just called it a crap movie because I know I would get a rise out of you.
Yeah, you will. And you did.
It was the least he could do.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it is. It's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's funny. But then again, personally, I think a lot of the late 80s, early 90s American comedy movies were a lot better than they are these days for a long shot.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, no argument there. I mean, my favorite comedy, or one of my favorite comedies, till this day is Police Academy, the first one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
you can't rock that one.
See, I wouldn't have put that in that conversation. I mean, I like them, but they were just too silly for me.
Well, when
Well,
I
there
first watched them, I was actually a kid, like 7 or 8 or something like that. So.
Then again, one of my most favourite ones, which a lot of people don't like, was the Three Amigos. I thought that was a genius and hilarious movie.
I mean, the second Police Academy, where they go into the community and recruit all those wackadoodles, That was a good one too, but after that it went south real quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, there were so many good ones. I mean, you had the Goonies, you had Twins, you had, what else was there? There was
Oh yeah,
the
Twins
Three
was fun.
Fugitives. Three Fugitives was great. Well, even actually one of the good ones, but it was more a thriller type deal, which was Midnight Express with Robert De Niro, which is absolutely one of my most favourite movies of all time. That movie had everything in it. Yeah, I'm trying to think what others were in the around that time were really funny. They all escape me now, and I'll have to re-see them. Oh, there was Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Steve Martin and Michael Caine. Blues Brothers, for sure.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers, yes.
Ghostbusters.
Goes that saying.
Get both Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
First one.
Only ever watched the first one though.
Yeah, same here.
Second one was good too.
Yeah, it's not that I avoided watching it. Just never had the opportunity. Lethal Weapon, those movies are awesome.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon was another one, for sure.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of all the Arnold Schwarzenegger funny ones as well. And there was
What's it called?
there was
Terminator.
Twins. No,
Last
comedies.
Action Hero,
Last Action Hero.
that one was good, yeah.
Well, he was a secret agent.
The one where he is a cop and goes undercover as a...
Oh, Kindergarten Cop. Yes, great
yeah,
movie.
Kindergarten Cop, that's the one.
Yeah, that was fantastic movie. But the comedy was a lot better back then than that. Now by a long shot. One of my other most favourite movies with Steve Martin and actually two with John Goodman. Not John Goodman, what's his name? John Candy. John Candy's movie Uncle Buck. Loved it. Absolutely love it. And the other one with the two of them, which was Plane, Trains and Automobiles, which was also hilarious. Really good movies. And you don't see them anymore. Well, actually, I'll tell you a lie, you do see them anymore. Because they redo them and give them different names, because that Plane, Trains and Automobiles one was redone with Iron Man, what's his name? And someone else. Very similar to it.
Yeah.
And other ones, but that's the problem. I mean, they're funny, I suppose, if you're the younger generation, never saw those movies I'm talking about, and then you see them for the first time and think they're great. But I don't think they're better than the originals, and that's the problem with movies these days, is you go and watch a movie that's just come out, this great new movie, look at it, and you just see storylines from movies that you've already seen. You see, you already know what's going to happen, and it's not...
That's true. Many things today are either a reboot, a sequel, prequel, or the same in a slightly different package.
Yeah, a slightly altered copy with a new name.
Yeah.
I'm going to run into traffic down here, I know I am. This graphics are getting on my nerves. I'm actually really starting to remember it was like this when I first played the game. But why wasn't it like this on Stevie's edit when I was playing that during the week? Because that looked exactly the same to me. None of this. I got an ad.
Look at that.
Oh, blow me down with a feather. So I've done one cotton field, I'm off to do another one, and that first cotton field I didn't even have enough to do a bale. I was 11% off. I sound like I'm having a sale.
Well, yeah, the case has a lot of capacity, and cotton is not that high yield a crop.
No.
Yeah, look at that graphics. That's fine. Dude, that's all good. But then we jump out. Look at it go all blurry at the back. Even the grass, you can't see all the texture in the grass, all the details in the grass. When I zoom out like that. Just in front of it, you can see a lot of detail. The grass is thicker, but behind it you see more dirt than grass. Why is that? These questions and more are right after the break.
Yeah, it's a Fendt Ideal. It's for like more than half off. On sale right now. The biggest standard in-game combine. Tempting, but not tempting enough.
Oh, I've forgotten to do what I was going to do. What I should do actually is do it now, click on every piece of land, see how much it all costs so you don't know where I'm looking at.
Yeah, and just pause and then click. Oh, actually, sorry. Click on the one you saw the price of, but you may be thinking of, sort of thing.
Oh, actually that reminds me. I was thinking about productions the other day. You know how we buy all the land and everything else like that? Productions is something you can sell.
Yeah.
So it's something you can own, which can be an asset.
Mm-hmm.
Should we include that as part of the competition?
But that you buy
Oh, yeah.
up all the production.
Yeah, as well. Even if you don't use it, it's just something to be able to sell and add to your total value at the end.
Yeah, the thing is, if you sell the building, it disappears from the map.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
but by then we'd finish with the map.
No, I mean, what you could do is just buy the building and sell it, keep the money, and the production disappears from the map, take it out of the competition. Technically.
Yeah, but people might still want to use it. I don't know if other people can still drop off stuff, they just won't get the products for it. Whether or not you get the products for it either, I don't know. It would be good if you could. That would make
I don't know.
a good addition. Because in like real life, you drop off the material required, you pay the person for it, then you make your product from it and sell it for a high price, so you make some profit as well. Well, you know how it works in real life, which would be really good on this with the production, so especially with the multiplayer aspect. I think
we can make it that as is buying the same as buying land. You might as well make it. You gotta have no loan or anything to buy the production as well. If that's
yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously.
because it's kind of shit ordy if you did it with the loan.
Yeah. No, like he said, obviously it made me feel like an idiot because I didn't really think about that. Didn't come into my head, but yeah, I mean, if you guys are happy with that, we can add that as a rule. And that means everything is brought up and stuff like that. And of course, we had the conversation last week about why we don't have loans to buy fields and all that kind of stuff. And a couple of people didn't understand it. But it turns out we had that conversation in the first stream when I rewatched the VODs. And I explained why then a lot better. And apparently you guys understood it then. Seriously. What a stupid place for a bump. So when are we back again? On Tuesday, eh? No, Monday, tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Well, hopefully I'll be in a better mood tomorrow. God, it's quiet today. Just even I
Yeah.
can't think of anything to talk about.
We do sometimes have that in the stream.
Yeah, but at least
I mean-
I'd normally try and make an effort to say something, even if it's a load of rubbish.
That is true. I mean,
Throw it
not that it is a lot of rubbish, because I mean it is, but most of the time. But yeah, I mean that's where it helps to have music in the background. That NCS stuff that I use for
Noise filling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
that way it isn't completely silent, you know.
Yeah, I know I get silent towards the end of the stream sometimes because it's been a long day and it's actually a lot of energy to try and come up with things to talk about, which is something in my earlier days I never had an issue doing, ironically. No, yeah, even now, I mean, generally at this point I'd try and come up with something to say or throw in a little slight cheeky, not meaningful insult, but just enough to get someone to say something.
Spark a conversation.
Yeah, just to get a conversation to go, known for where you guys are taking it as a joke.
I mean, when you go make your coffee, me and Smedo just go like, I don't know, we just don't talk about anything because we just complain about it.
I mean, the complaining is mostly because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm just waiting until Wednesday. Get paid for the full day of work. Only have to do 11 to 5 because of shortened public holiday trading hours. And I am dead set to crack out the barbecue and do a sausage on bread.
Right. For a second there, I thought you were going to do a Smudo.
What's up?
What's that supposed to mean?
Ladies and gentlemen of Twitch, this is what we got today. Actually, we've got to try it when I get a bit of time. Maybe when I've stopped and these guys are still going, I might do it. But yeah, I come back from doing my thing this morning to a post by Smudo is coming up with an idea of how to fix our issue. Well, the issue in the game with the grass not regrowing after you harvest it when it's someone else. I don't know if it happens if you own it. I will find that out because I'm doing grass on my solo play. But we haven't had any.
When you own it.
Yeah, so with the contracts that we've done with the baling that we had it the first year, and the grass hasn't regrown. There's no texture, anything on it to say that it's fertilised. Nothing. It's just a blank thing. Even and it's happened not only on this map, it's also happened on my other solo map where I did contracts as well, the same thing.